So I'm not sure whether or not this is just some absolute genius marketing from Nike, or whether it's a case of, just being peer pressured from online into doing something. But A'ja Wilson, the best female basketball player in the world, has got a signature shoe with Nike coming in the year of 2025. And it's likely Caitlin Clark is probably going to have a signature shoe coming in the same year, which means there is a chance there are going to be 3 signature shoes from Nike for WNBA players, which is crazy, which is absolutely crazy. And do I think that it's a good call from Nike? We'll see. It all just depends on how the shoe is. Like, look, Sabrina Ionescu, like, I just bought a pair of Sabrinas. Not because of Sabrina Ionescu, because I want to play in low top shoes, and I couldn't get Kobe's, and they're the closest thing to resemble Kobe's. It's more than likely, considering the fact that Caitlin Clark plays in Kobe 5s, that Caitlin Clark's shoe is going to resemble a Kobe. But A'ja Wilson, who played in the Cosmic Unity last year, I don't think that as, like, an individual, A'ja Wilson necessarily, like, sells shoes, but, like, there is also, like, individuals on Nike's rosters that don't sell that many sneakers. Like, there's a reason why Jokic didn't have a signature shoe until he went to 361 degrees. But it is, again, it's just a sign of the growth of women's sports. As far as participation goes in basketball and any sport, obviously the participation is increasing for women's sports. Is constantly increasing. And maybe Nike are trying to tap into a new market. And it would be smart. That would be a smart thing to do. Because, ironically enough, the people that watch the most of WNBA are men. And if the whole, like, boom in women's sports leads to more females watching women's sports, then clearly there's going to be that draw for getting shoes. Like, at the youth level, I'm from Ireland. Like, if you can't tell by the accents, at the youth level there are equally as many, if not more, girls playing basketball than guys playing basketball. So I know we're only a small country, but it is still a huge market, and, like, there's no reason why a girl wouldn't want to wear a shoe, especially if they're watching WNBA, that's, like, endorsed by one of their favorite players. And I think what Nike are doing, because if you see the contract that they gave to Caitlin Clark, how little she's being paid compared to what realistically she's going to be worth based on her shoe sales, I'm guessing Sabrina and A'ja Wilson are on similar contracts. It's probably worth the risk. It's probably worth the risk giving them a signature shoe, at least for a short amount of time. Because obviously A'ja Wilson couldn't push the Cosmic Unity, but the Cosmic Unity shoes sucked last year. And it's going to be interesting, again, to see what this shoe looks like. Because the be-all and end-all about whether this shoe is going to sell is it any good? Is it any good? Because Nike basketball recently, I'm not going to lie, they haven't had a lot of hits. Like, 2 of the 3 GT cuts have been pretty good. KD's had a decent enough line. LeBron has been okay the last 2 years, but they're $210 shoes. They're too expensive. I don't think Giannis has had a good run. I'm not the biggest fan of the Ja 1s. They lost Kyrie, and Kyrie's shoes were probably the best, especially the Kyrie lows. The Kyrie's up till 5s were great, and the Kyrie lows were great. And obviously, they're doing everything they can to gatekeep Kobe's shoes. And Jordan, don't get me started on anything Jordan. So it really comes down to that. And if we see the concept shoe, the one, like, if you guys have seen that one where it was beside Victor Wembanyama's, it looked stupid. There's no chance that the concept shoe is going to be that. But it's going to be a high top. It's not going to be low. And it really just comes down to that. So a lot of people are going to be saying, like, oh, WNBA players can't sell shoes, when Sabrina's were extremely successful, so they can. It really just comes down to that. But again, it's another step forward for women's basketball and women's sports. Another step forward. Like, at the end of the day, Nike aren't going to give somebody a signature shoe for a charity case. Very clearly, they've seen something. They've seen either a growth in the sport, because obviously it's nothing to do necessarily with A'ja Wilson's play, because she's the best player in the world. She's been the best player in the world. But they've clearly seen interest. They've seen more marketability in all the players, and very soon AJ Wilson is going to be a household name. And they've seen the fact that obviously they've tried it with Sabrina's and it's been a success, and they know that Caitlin Clark is going to be able to sell sneakers as well. So why not give the best player in the world a signature shoe as well? It's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And I really do hope, as I've said, is like, I really do hope for success in everything, because the better, well, the more successful WNBA is, the more basketball there is. And as a basketball fan, I just like watching the sport. I'll watch any level of basketball. And the bigger the leagues are, the more interesting they are, the more they can get people invested in them, the better it's going to be for the fans that are fans of the sport. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys think it's kind of crazy she has a signature shoe? Do you think it's about time she has a signature shoe? Or do you guys think it was a publicity stunt that AJ Wilson was complaining about it? Because I actually think that's the case. Like, if you see the t-shirt she's wearing, I genuinely think that it was a publicity stunt. I think that her complaining about not getting a sneaker was a publicity stunt because, one, we saw her name on the concept, so they had something in the work, and two, I think Nike have been planning this signature sneaker for quite a while. I think they were planning on releasing one, and I think the whole discourse about Caitlin Clark getting a shoe deal allowed there to be some uproar and allowed some fan almost revolt into getting AJ Wilson's signature shoe, which means that those fans are more likely to buy it when it comes out. I think it was genius marketing more than it was them caving to the fans. Either way, though, the fans of her are probably still going to buy the shoe anyway. So I think it's a smart marketing move by Nike. It's definitely worth the risk and something that I see paying off big time in the future. But anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.